Hey everyone, welcome back to the Jay and May English podcast. Today is for all of you who feel like there are just not enough hours in the day to learn English.
Exactly, May. We are talking about how to master English even if you work a demanding 9-to-5 job.
It feels impossible sometimes, right? You get home, you're tired, and the last thing you want to do is open a heavy grammar book.
That is the biggest headache for beginners. They think they need hours of sitting at a desk, but that is actually a mistake.
Wait, a mistake? But how else can we learn? I thought I needed to study like I'm back in school.
Not at all. If you stay until the end of this episode, you will learn how to turn your dead time, like your commute or lunch break, into a powerful English classroom.
Oh, I love that. Dead time means the time when you are doing nothing productive, like standing in line or sitting on a bus, right?
Precisely. By the end of this, you'll have a schedule that doesn't feel like work.
I'm ready. Before we dive into the first trick, make sure to subscribe for our weekly English transformation tips so you never miss a lesson.
Now, May, let's start with the micro-learning rule. Do you know what micro means?
Is it like very small, like a microwave?
Yes, it means small. Instead of studying for 1 hour once a week, you study for 10 minutes 6 times a day.
10 minutes? That sounds too easy. Does that really work for a beginner?
It works better. Your brain stays fresh. Imagine your brain is a sponge. If you pour a whole bucket of water on it at once, most of it just spills off.
Ah, I see. But if you drip water slowly, the sponge soaks up everything.
Exactly. That is consistency. Consistency means doing something regularly so it becomes a habit.
Okay, so I can do 10 minutes while I drink my morning coffee, but what should I actually do in those 10 minutes?
Start with input. This means listening or reading. For a beginner, listening to a simple song or a short clip is perfect.
But what if I don't understand the words? Should I feel bad?
Never. Pauses. In the beginning, you're just training your ears to hear the sounds of English. It's like exercise for your head.
That makes me feel much better. I usually get stressed when I don't understand every single word.
That stress is what stops most people. Let's try a quick question for our listeners right now.
Great idea. Everyone, pause for a second and type in the comments, how many minutes can you realistically spend on English during your work break? Is it 5, 10, or 15?
I'm curious to see those answers. Even 5 minutes is a win, May.
Really? Just 5? I spend more time than that choosing what to eat for lunch.
Then you have plenty of time. The secret is to have your material ready on your phone so you don't waste time looking for it.
So I should prepare a playlist or a specific app the night before?
Exactly. Preparation is half the battle. If you have to search for a video, you will get distracted by cat videos instead.
You caught me. I always end up watching funny cats instead of learning verbs.
We all do, May. We all do. But if you have a plan, you stay on track.
Okay, so I have my 5-minute playlist ready for my morning coffee, but what about when I'm actually at work?
That is where labeling comes in. This is a classic trick for beginners to build a massive vocabulary without even trying.
Labeling? Like putting stickers on things?
Exactly. Imagine your office. You see a desk, a chair, and a computer every day, right?
Right. I know those words, but what if I don't know the harder ones, like stapler or drawer?
That's the point. Write the English word on a small piece of paper and stick it to the object.
Wait, my boss might think I'm crazy if I put stickers on everything.
If you can't use physical stickers, use digital ones. Take a photo of your workspace and use your phone to write the English names on the screen.
Oh, that's smart. So every time I look at my phone, I see the word keyboard or monitor.
Precisely. This is passive learning. You aren't studying, you are just seeing.
I love that. Passive means I don't have to work hard for it, right?
Exactly. It's like a background program on a computer. It's always running while you do other things.
But what if my job is really busy? Like I'm a waiter or a driver. I can't look at labels all day.
This part is vital, May. If you are moving, you use your audio environment.
Audio environment? That sounds fancy. Does it mean listening to music?
Not just music. It means narrating your day in your head using very simple English.
Narrating. Like a movie? May is picking up a plate. May is walking to the table.
Yes, exactly like that. Even if it's just, I am tired or the coffee is hot.
I do that in my own language anyway, so I just switch the language in my head?
Yes, it bridges the gap between thinking and speaking. Most beginners struggle because they try to translate from their native language first.
Oh, I do that all the time. I think in my language, then I try to find the English words. It takes forever.
That is the translation trap. It makes you slow and nervous.
So, by narrating my simple actions, I'm training my brain to think directly in English?
You've got it. It's a simple trick for you to build confidence before you ever talk to a real person.
I'm going to try that during my commute today. I am sitting. The bus is blue. Is that okay?
Perfect. Simple is better. Don't try to use big words yet.
The bus is blue. Okay, I can do that. Let's do another quick question for everyone listening.
Great idea. Listeners, look around you right now. Pick one object and type the English name for it in the comments.
Even if it's just phone or table, we want to see you practicing your labeling right now.
It's amazing how fast your brain learns when you connect a word to a real object you can touch.
It feels more real than just reading it in a list. But Jay, what about grammar? I'm scared of the rules.
Beginners often get stuck on grammar rules like they are golden rules that can never be broken.
I definitely feel like if I miss one S at the end of a word, the English police will catch me.
Don't worry. In the beginning, communication is more important than perfection.
So it's okay to make mistakes while I'm at work?
It is better than being silent. If you say, I go to work yesterday, people still understand you.
Really? They won't laugh?
Most people are just happy you're trying. Correcting your grammar comes later. Right now, we just need you to speak.
That makes me feel so much more relaxed. I've been so worried about being perfect.
Perfection is the enemy of progress, May. Remember that.
Perfection is the enemy of progress. I need to write that on a sticky note.
You should. It applies to everything, especially learning a language while you have a busy career.
But Jay, I have a big problem. My lunch break is only 30 minutes. I usually just eat and scroll through social media.
That is actually a golden opportunity. We call this the digital swap.
The digital swap? Does that mean I swap my phone for a book?
Not necessarily. It means swapping the language of your scrolling.
Wait, you mean I should look at social media in English, but I won't understand the jokes?
You'd be surprised. Start following accounts that post simple English tips or short, funny videos with subtitles.
Oh, so instead of reading news in my language, I read a short post about 5 ways to say hello?
Exactly. You are already on your phone anyway. You're just changing the input from your native language to English.
That feels much less like studying. It just feels like hanging out online.
That's the secret. If it feels like a chore, something you have to do, you'll stop doing it after a week.
Like going to the gym. I always quit the gym because it feels like hard work.
Precisely. But if you make English your hobby during your break, You'll look forward to it.
Okay, so I've got my 5-minute morning coffee, my labeling at work, and my English scrolling at lunch. What about the evening?
This part is vital for your memory. Before you go to sleep, do a 2-minute recap.
Only 2 minutes? I can definitely do that. Do I write it down?
You can, or you can just say it out loud to your mirror. Just 3 sentences about your day.
Like, today I worked hard. I ate a sandwich. I am sleepy.
Perfect! You're using the past tense without even studying a grammar table.
Wait, worked and ate? Those are past tense? I didn't even notice.
See, you're learning by doing. That's much more powerful than memorizing verb plus ed.
I feel so much more confident now. It's not about having 4 hours of free time. It's about using the small gaps.
Exactly, May. Let's recap our golden rules for all the busy learners listening today.
Rule number 1, use micro-learning. 10 minutes is better than 60 if you do it every day.
Rule number 2, label your world. Use stickers or your phone to learn the names of things you see every day.
Rule number 3, narrate your life. Speak your simple actions out loud to think in English.
And rule number 4, the digital swap. Turn your social media time into English time.
This has been so helpful, Jay. I'm actually excited to go to work tomorrow now.
That's the spirit. You don't need more time, you just need a better plan.
We want to hear from you guys now. What is the hardest part about learning English while working? Is it being tired or just finding the time?
Leave a comment and let us know. We read every single one.
Thanks for listening to the Jay and May English podcast. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips next week.
See you in the next lesson. Keep practicing.